My name is John Gall. I'm the art director for Vintage and Anchor Books, which is the trade paperback imprint of Alfred A. Knopf, a division of Random House Incorporated. And we essentially take the books that are published at Knopf and Doubleday and we redesign them for trade paperback editions. And the trick of the job is how to take these really beautiful covers and redesign them in another kind of really beautiful way. We produce about between 300 and 400 covers a year. And I went to school at Rutgers University, and they have really fantastic little design department. And then it was really learning from the ground up, like every single thing, how type works, how two letters work next to each other. And when I was in school, I mean, it wasn't computer time either, and we did every single thing by hand. Everything was cutting out letters and rubbing down letters and photostats and all this kind of stuff. So it was all handwork. I sort of think of book covers as sort of the last great place for this essential mode of visual communication, which is basically just a concept, type, and imagery. I think book covers are still that kind of component, that place where you can be expressive and you're communicating with type and image and just that simple level of communication, and what can you do with those things and make them new and exciting each time out. One really interesting project that we've worked on, this is over the past year, was redesigning the backlist of all of Vladimir Nabokov's books. So I thought, well, what if we, I've been playing around with these like butterfly specimen boxes. What if we do something with this? And then I thought of it as another way, another added kind of bonus element was, well, what if we use those for the cover? And what if there are 20 books, and to make it really interesting, why don't I buy 20 of these boxes, send them to 20 different designers, and give them each a set of insect pins, the things you pin butterflies or insects into these boxes with, and a title. And they had to then illustrate their title using all the pins and pieces of paper inside this box, but they could do whatever they wanted to. So we photographed each one on the cover, so there's this great kind of system in place, yet each one looks like completely different too. When I'm hiring, there are a few like real main things that I look for, and there's lots of other little things that come into play. First of all, we're looking at portfolios. So I like really kind of clear conceptual thinking, and people who are able to, also express that thinking in an interesting way. So that's one thing. Another thing I look for is someone who can work over the course of a range of projects, because books, take place in all different time periods and cover all kinds of subject matter. You have to really be able to distill your ideas down to this, 6x9, 5x8 format. And if you have that work in your portfolio, that can really, explain a lot and tell a lot about you.
I work for Vintage and Anchor Books, and it's a trade paperback mainly. And we deal with taking hardcovers and repackaging them, or designing books that go straight to paperback and don't exist in hardcover. My artistic background, I guess, would stem from being in bands in high school, and I grew up in kind of the skateboard community. And I was the guy in the band who did all the flyers, did the t-shirts, silkscreened them, and passed them out, not really knowing that was something called graphic design or even an art form in a sense. And that was that. And later on, I continued to paint and draw. And when I attended school, my freshman year, when everyone else was kind of getting part-time jobs or doing nothing at all, I sought out a gallery internship in Chelsea here. Also grew up writing on walls. And so that was my early introduction to type and form and paying attention to things like that. One of my favorite projects I've worked on so far here was this Oliver Sacks 6-book series. Oliver Sacks deals a lot with abnormality of mind, like things like color blindness, migraines, and so basically this idea of taking a head and breaking it up into these different parts, and when you would buy each book, they would puzzle together. And I would be active in the design community and kind of get out there and meet people and have conversations about design. And kind of take yourself out of the student mentality, and rather than being a student with mentors, you become a designer in the design community. So a lot of my teachers I studied under, I now are friends that I email and talk with, and I'll see at a show, and we talk like friends rather than student and teacher, because I was able to become part of that community and interested and have educated conversations about design or about art and my opinion about it and things like that. And to realize that once you've studied and you grow into your own aesthetic and style and you have opinions about these things, that really you're a member of a community.